What does a healthy ministry look like? The first thing is this. Our volunteers are pastored. They're not just positioned. Are we actually pastoring our volunteers? I learned a long time ago that the volunteers that God gives me within a ministry aren't just there to serve the purpose of being someone I can delegate stuff to. But as a pastor over students, God is also allowing me to be a pastor to these volunteers. It's a level of responsibility that we actually have to start opening our eyes to with the volunteers that we are working with. And when we do that, we realize you're not just a role filler, but what am I doing to help guide you spiritually? What am I doing to check in on you and your walk with God and make sure you're not only growing and thriving in Him, but like, what are ways that I can help you, come alongside of you, pour into you? Another sign of health is when expectations are clear before there's ever a conflict. We've been there before where we have to help correct or redirect one of our leaders. It's not something we want to do, but it's something that becomes necessary at times and places. And can I tell you, if you've already laid out those expectations, it's a whole lot easier to say, hey, this is where you're not lining up. But with that whole level of pastoring, here's what we can do to help grow you in this area. Here's what we can do to help redirect you with the path that you're on. See, it's about not being cold, but about seeing them as people that need spiritual guidance. But when we've laid out those expectations, it allows us to approach those areas of correction a lot easier than just saying, hey, you messed up in a way that was in my head and not something that I've ever vocalized. Expectations are necessary not only to give them confidence in the roles that they've been assigned, but also helps us when we have to correct. And if it comes to the point where we're correcting and we're scrambling to figure out what they did wrong and how to correct it and everything like that, then oftentimes it's a bit too late to try to piece that all together. That's why expectations laid out before there's ever an issue allow us to help smooth over and guide over and address those areas that are needed without extra conflict. With that, we also look at the idea that training is important, not just for the expectations, but to make sure that our leaders are equipped when they step into the roles. One of the biggest things that burns people out is when they don't know what's expected of them or how to go about doing what they need to do. We don't want to plug someone into a small group without ever knowing how to run a small group. We don't want someone greeting at the door without telling them, hey, open the door. I realize it's common sense, but in the same aspect, we want to make sure that our leaders are so equipped, they walk in with confidence knowing what is expected of them and how to go about doing that. And with that training, it needs to be ongoing. It can't be the first time they show up, we slap them with some paperwork, and then hope it all works out. Throw them into the water and hope that they learn how to swim. But again, with that pastoring mentality, we need to make sure that we're continuously following up with them. A training a couple times a year, following up with individual leaders, allowing there to be room to talk if they ever need to share some hurts or things that they've struggled with or things that they're not understanding, allowing there to be ongoing training to help continue to grow them to be the most confident and strong team that you will ever lead.